We had the Academy Awards. What do you think of them? You know, the artist, everybody thought the artist would win. It was probably one of the most creative movies. You know, one of the most unique movies we saw this year. I do think his performance was great. I think there were some other performances that were good too. What was fascinating though, really fascinating, was the supporting actors. When you look at Nick Nolte, you know, when you look at, and I haven't seen the other two actors, but here, Christopher Plummer's been around for ages. He's 82 years old. Those guys have been acting 65, 70 years. When you look at great artists, very seldom does an artist come out of the box so fast. The Picassos, they're prodigy. What you look at, I mean, they really overwhelm you for a period of time. But as life goes on, all of a sudden, other people catch them. You know, or they have other people to compete against, because the people do catch up to whatever they were doing. Picasso, Matisse and Picasso were very contemporary. Picasso got most of the fame. Picasso was the one that everybody looked at. But Matisse, you know, throughout his lifetime, the two of them were competing. That's the only one that he ever competed against, Picasso. But Matisse, in the later quarter of the century, he was the leader. Where the earlier quarter of the century, Picasso was the leader. But when you look at Cézanne, when you look at Rodin, when you look at a lot of great artists, it's 50 years old before they're any good. That's why it was so interesting to see Nick Nolte, because you look at him and you go, what a performance. You know, strong, powerful, you know, very, very simple, you know, and, you know, with everything that he had in it. You look at the end of that movie, and you look at Nick Nolte's, what goes on with Nick Nolte as he watches these two sons that he knows, because he's been an alcoholic, they're never going to ever let him in their life. And he watches them, but you see something in his face without any dialogue that says, at least they're going to be together. So you could see how he tried to relate to them. It was a powerful, powerful piece of work. I mean, brilliant, in my opinion. And so I heard extremely loud and incredibly close. Is that it? I have to see that. And the beginners, I have to see that. You know, just to see it. But that type of work, you know, you really, as an artist, you know, and very much like Clint Eastwood was acting most of his life, doing stuff, and it was very passable. And I mean, Outlaw Josie Wales comes on TV once a month. But you look at Eastwood, you know, it takes him till he gets to Unforgiven. And then you look at his work and you go, my gosh. Now, how old is he? He's 60 years old. He got that script 10 years before when he was 50. He got it and he said, no, I can't do it now, I'm too young. And he did it at 60 and turns in a performance that's incredible. And it is a performance. It is a great performance. So you start looking at these things and you start looking at how you can develop in your art form, and that you can't give up. I mean, like, you have to take your dreams, what your dreams are, and you have to look at it and go, don't put a time limit on it. You can't put anything on it except that these are my dreams, this is what I want to do. I want to see one of my students at the Academy Awards getting an Oscar. I don't care if you mention my name. I won't care. I just want to see somebody that I know get a damn Oscar. I want to see you go in there and put on that little funny monkey suit and do it. I want to see somebody get a directing gig, you know, get nominated as a director or a writer or anything. That's what I want to see, because it's important to me. It's important, you know, you sit there and I'm passionately moved by what they did last night. Because I look at it and go, that's what you come to this town for. Good enough that they recognize it. Whether or not everybody likes it doesn't make any difference. That's what it's about. And it's about not giving up. And it's about pursuing that dream, if that's your dream. You know, I mean, my dream, I think everybody comes here to be famous. And the reason is that you want to be famous because then you get to do some of the stuff that's really fun. And Dustin Hoffman said, you know, he says, I was really thought that I would be a great character actor, but he says, I'll tell you this. He says, anybody that doesn't want to be a star is crazy. Because I drive on the lot, they say, oh, Dustin, there's your parking space. You know, I get out, I, you know, get a chance to do stuff. And that's the truth. He gets a chance to do the type of work that he wants to do. And he works hard at it, and he's developed himself, and he's a marvelous actor. And, you know, but he's got a chance. nobody, and I don't care, I think Stanislavski said, there are no small actors, there are no small parts, just small actors. And who the hell, the reality of it is this, I don't want to spend 4 hours on stage holding a spear. I don't give a shit who you think you are, Stanislavski. That's not what I came to do. I want to do the damn lead. I've been a lead in a play in American Buffalo. I've done it. And I'll tell you, it might be one hell of a lot of work, and you might be scared to death out of your mind every night that you go on stage, and you might, you know, go through all the shit you have to go through. But, you know, when you look back on it, sometimes it was great. Sometimes it was bad. But it's getting out there and doing it. And you can't tell me that doing 2 lines is ever going to satisfy you doing the lead in the play. You know, that's what you come for. You come to work. You come to do the type of work that you want to do. And I want you to think about that, and I want you to really understand that you can do it. It's a dream, but it's you pursuing it to the nth degree and taking everything you have, putting it on the line, and not letting anybody else deter you from quitting. You know, part of it is, well, your wife. Part of it is your kids. Part of it is whatever the hell it is to quit. Don't quit. Keep doing it. You know? And, you know, at the end of your life, and I had a quote, when I stand before God at the end of my life, I would hope that I would not have a single bit of talent left and could say, I used everything you gave me.